Don't leave me hanging. It's go time.
Hey everybody, it's Josh, and here we have another cast. This one is going to be a Terran versus Protoss here on Metalopolis between KiWiKaKi of Root Gaming and KiWiKaKi of Root Gaming. KiWiKaKi is an American Terran player. He is the purple one right up here on the top side of the map, and KiWiKaKi is from Quebec. He is the yellow Protoss over here on the left side of the map. And I did just mention that both of these guys are on Root Gaming. KiWiKaKi has done quite well for himself in the last couple of tournaments. He gave Hydra kind of a run for his money in the winner's bracket at MLG DC, and the week before that, KiWiKaKi got second place after beating Huck in the semifinals. He got second place to Phoenix in the finals at Intel Extreme Masters American Championships in New York City. And KiWiKaKi, of course, is no slouch either. He was in the top 8 at MLG DC. I believe he got, let's see, it must have been 4th place after Huck, Select, and Hydra himself, the winner of the event. And KiWiKaKi, of course, got second place at MLG Raleigh against Huck in that first StarCraft 2 event that they held. But KiWiKaKi versus KiWiKaKi, both of these guys on the same clan, do practice against each other, but not that much, because they will probably see each other at the very next event, which will be MLG Dallas. And you don't want to practice too much against opponents that you're likely to see at the later rounds of tournaments, because, you know, they know what you're going to do and you know what they're going to do. You'd much prefer to keep it a little mysterious, even though you guys are on the same team. So it looks like KiWiKaKi is actually throwing up a barracks and then getting a refinery very quickly after the barracks starts. This is a little bit different than we see normally. The timing seems to line up right when the barracks is at about 60 or 70%, so that they can get another SCV out quicker. And KiWiKaKi on the other side is getting a gateway and then assimilator, so he is doing the very standard Protoss build. Next we should be seeing a Cybernetics core, since that opens up all of the tech trees for the Protoss race. And KiWiKaKi is going to send a probe up here. He is actually going to run right past this SCV of KiWiKaKi, also doing some scouting. So it looks like both players are going to be finding their enemy relatively quickly on this particular match. KiWiKaKi doesn't like what he sees. He sees a second barracks coming up for KiWiKaKi. Normally, in a lot of matchups, we'll see a factory come after that first barracks and refinery are done, and actually not even an orbital command morphing right here. So KiWiKaKi doing something a little bit out of the ordinary, getting that second barracks, getting a tech lab after pumping out only a single Marine. The Marine was made, obviously, to chase off this probe. He doesn't want him hanging around too much. And KiWiKaKi did get that Cybernetics core down. He also dropped a second gas and another gateway right after that Cybernetics core completes. So 2 gas, 2 gate robo, probably a high possibility here. KiWiKaKi, not sure what he's going to be doing with that tech lab. It does look like he's going to be building a Reaper. So one thing that you can do with this, get a single Reaper. It's called the Cawthon Luck build. You get a Reaper, a Marine, 2 to 3 Marauders, usually just 2, and you can see his second barracks did also add a tech lab, and he is getting a Marine, or actually a Marauder, my bad, but getting those 2 Marauders to complement the Marine and Reaper. And then he's going to expand shortly after that, and that's one of the things that's called a Cawthon Luck build, because he was pretty much the first person to do this. And the benefit of this build is you can use this Reaper to hop up the cliff over here and give the Marauders and Marine safe vision down at the bottom of the cliff against these units like Zealots and Stalkers or Sentries, whichever KiWiKaKi chooses to build. And Kiwi did see that double barracks here. His single Stalker is going to be chased down by that Reaper, Marine, and Marauder from KiWiKaKi, and the Reaper jumps up the cliff there. The Stalker only has a couple of shots on it so far from that Reaper before running away. Did get all the way back into his main, and now his Sentry is out, so he will be able to drop a force field the moment that KiWiKaKi tries to pop up there and pressure. And here we see this is the unit mix I was talking about earlier. We've got a Reaper, a Marine, and 2 Marauders. So what KiWiKaKi can do, have the Reaper jump up here to get vision, and these Marines, Marine and Marauders can actually pick off this Zealot, perhaps. Actually, KiWiKaKi knows all about this, of course. Cawthon Luck is a member of Root Gaming as well, so all these Root guys know the Cawthon Luck build by now. Force field does go down, but all these units are still able to shoot. He takes out the Stalker first, then the Zealot, and then tries to focus down these Sentries, which do much less damage than both the Zealot and the Stalker. And once this force field fades away, he'll be able to walk right in here and finish off this other Sentry. So these 2 Marauders still alive, 2 more showing up from the base of KiWiKaKi. The production tab is open. You can see he's still just building Marauders and an SCV. That robotics facility did come up for KiWiKaKi while all that little battling was going on, and he is getting an Immortal out now, so the Immortal should certainly help clear out these Marauders, but not before a few probes go down and a couple of Zealots were warped in here. Single sentry still alive from earlier, drops a force field, so these Marauders can't just keep walking around the back here. These Marauders still picking off probes, pick off the sentry, that's the highest value target right here, and he's not going to be able to kite these 2 Zealots because I don't believe he has concussive shells researched just yet. Stimpack is researching right now. Yes, he does have concussive shells. My bad. But either way, 2 Zealots against 1 Marauder. It's very hard to micro and kill off both of those Zealots. So QXC gets a lot of damage done there. Obviously, he loses his whole army, but pretty much traded with KiWiKaKi and got a lot of probe kills there as well. If you look at the units tab, 26 SCVs and a mule against only 21 probes of KiWiKaKi. And of course, like I said earlier, part of the Cawthon Luck build is to get that command center relatively quickly as well. So doing everything timed perfectly here. The command center is coming up. It's almost 75% done. Now getting a factory. That second barracks, or actually third barracks, was started as well. So he's got just a bunch of Marauders. Check this out. And the factory likely won't even be used for Hellions or tanks. He'll probably just go straight to medevacs since he's got the infrastructure for a very solid MMM already there. KiWiKaKi, on the other hand, still sticking with 2 gateways. Looks like a robotics bay is coming in now. It's about 80% done. So cranking out, chrono boosting 1 more Immortal. Gonna be able to switch to Colossus right after that. Is he gonna get that upgraded range right away? He does have the money for it. Hopefully his timings work out. Oh no, he doesn't have the gas quite yet. So he did go ahead and spend some minerals there on a Nexus. So KiWiKaKi does not want to fall too far behind QXC. He is using it as observer to do some spotting over here on the other side at QXC's base. I want to see when that extended thermal lances actually starts. He keeps spending his gas on other things. That original chrono boosted Immortal is out now. If we look at the food difference here, QXC is actually at 60 food and KiWiKaKi down to only 47, 48 right there. That's because QXC was able to get the unit advantage early with that attack, and since both players are very good at this game, it's going to be hard for KiWiKaKi to claw back and get even in the supply count, especially with big expensive units like these Immortals and soon to be Colossus. Yes, there is a Colossus coming out now. Still no extended thermal lances researching yet, but you got to be able to afford army. Like I said, if supply is going to be an issue, you obviously want to have Colossi on the field with or without their extended range. But there we go. Look at the production tab. Extended thermal lance finally starts here. But back at QXC's base, we saw a reactor was added onto this factory, and then QXC floated a starport over in its place so that he can get 2 medevacs out very quickly. He's also getting an engineering bay here, so he got stim already. He's getting combat shields, got concussive shells. He's getting all kinds of upgrades for these infantry, and engineering bay will allow him to get +1 weapons. And he might get, he might actually move out. Since he does have a supply advantage right now, he might move out once these first 2 medevacs are complete, or he might wait for a second wave and try to time it with +1 weapon attacks. We'll just have to see. KiWiKaKi, on the other hand, has his expansion up and running. He's got a 3rd gas there that he has not started to use yet. There go the probes. 1 Colossus out and a second one being chrono boosted. And extended thermal lance is not quite done yet. Oh, QXC is moving out with those first 2 medevacs. KiWiKaKi bringing his observer along for the ride, although it doesn't really need to. But I guess he does want to keep tabs on QXC if he does stall. But let's watch the micro here. KiWiKaKi is a former Warcraft 3 player. It looks like he does drop force fields all around the backside, but that's not going to matter. It only locks out 1 Marauder. These 2 force fields are going to be a little bit better. QXC tries to get his Marauders stemmed up and tries to take out that Colossus there. He does get a couple of Marauders up the ramp to take out the Colossus. Now KiWiKaKi's left with only a couple of Zealots and a couple of Sentries. QXC just still has a lot of Marauders, 8 Marauders. These 2 medevacs are going to prove to be a huge benefit for QXC as he stims up, tries to take out this Nexus. You will notice that this Nexus has taken a little while longer to die than it used to. Another Colossus is now out. KiWiKaKi is pulling all his probes to try and take down these very low health Marauders, but the 2 medevacs just now running out of energy. He's able to kill off that Nexus and load up into the medevacs before the probes can finish off those Marauders. KiWiKaKi losing that Nexus, losing both Colossi there and the rest of his forces. He knows he is not going to win this game with even bases and things like that. So good job to QXC to use that Cawthon Luck build early on, gain an early advantage, get expanded before his opponent, and then switch to just full-on MMM with rolling upgrades. There you can see on the production tab he did get that +1 weapon. He was almost done, even about halfway done. So the next round of units was already pretty much prepared to do drops or frontal attack or whatever he chose to do. So very good game to QXC. Thanks for watching.